What is up, my aesthetic boys? It's Fresh, back with another video. Today we have an episode of r/Entitled Parents, and the entitlement is insane. And the parents might be as well. My own mother tried to kill me because I didn't give her money for her birthday. When I was first married, money wasn't that easy to come by. I had a form of leukemia that took up most of our money. Due to this, we can't just spend money like we wanted to. God bless my husband for being such a sweetheart. We were only in our early 20s and he still pushed through this for us. December 23rd is my mother's birthday. She is an awful person. She tried to get me pregnant at 14 because she wanted more money from the state. That's an entirely different story I'll post on here if people ask. As this was 20 years ago, we didn't really have the same type of cell phones we have today. So I didn't know until I got home from treatment that my mom had called me multiple times. 3 minutes later, I counted, she shows up at the door. She asks for her money. Both of us are confused, of course. She wants her birthday money, which I've never given before to her. She wanted $608, that exact amount. When I told her no, we can't afford that, she lost it, screaming at me, calling me a whore and all sorts of entitled names. She gave birth to me, so I should do what she says. And then I say, I'm an adult, and I don't have to listen. I was angry and tired, and I just threw up a few minutes ago. This set her off. She grabbed a kitchen knife and ran at me while my husband is trying to hold her back. She stabbed me right between two ribs, but didn't pierce any organ, thank God. I don't know what happened in my husband's mind, but he snapped. He broke her arm backwards in rage while screaming something I don't even think was a human language. He called the police and she was arrested while I was taken to the hospital. Even more bills to pay, but surprisingly that was taken care of by a domestic violence victims foundation. She got 7 years in prison. I moved out and moved to Louisiana. This morning, I got a call from my sister that she passed away last night. How she did, I don't know. Don't care. She took her entitlement and almost killed her own daughter because of it. Oh my God. I'm just really glad that OP is okay, that she was able to get the help that she needed from a variety of charities that were willing to help out and things like that. I literally can't imagine what that could be like, to be in a situation where your mother tries, and successfully, I guess, stabs you. Jesus. Karen drops her phone down the elevator shaft. I work for a company that services elevators. This includes calls from our clients as well as answering the emergency phones inside the elevators if people become stuck. 95% of the time that we get a call from inside an elevator, it's just kids or someone who hit the button by accident. 4% of the time we actually have someone stuck, and the other 1% of the time, it's Karen. My phone rings, so I glance over to check which language I need to answer in, and I see that it's actually from inside an elevator. I pick it up thinking it's another prank call, find the address in my system, and prepare to say, "Hello? Is there anyone there?" for about 30 seconds, then go back to playing Stardew Valley on my phone. Not today. Today, Karen had other plans. I quickly get out the standard intro, and to my surprise, there is actually someone on the other end of the line. Karen, "Hi, I need to speak to a manager or something." Yes, she actually said "or something" with the inflection of a question. Now, there's so much stupid packed into that one question that I'm almost speechless. Let's unpack the stupid, shall we? Stupid point number 1. She's using an emergency elevator phone and wasting an emergency response line's time to try to make a complaint. I know I said I was playing Stardew Valley, but you're on Reddit. Don't judge me. Stupid point number 2. Her question doesn't make sense. Does she want my manager? We have thousands of employees and dozens of offices. Does she want the account rep for her building? Does she want the supervisor of the technician who handles her building? Does she want the manager of her local branch? Is this about a bill? I don't know what Karen wants, and I'm pretty sure I left my Nintendo Switch at home, so it can't be that. Stupid point number 3. We cannot give or share any information to anyone who is not with building management. In fact, anyone who is not with building management should not even know our phone number. At the time, I had no idea, but Karen has already been told this by building management and does not know our number, which is why she's calling from the emergency phone. Can I ask what this is regarding? No. Give me the manager. Well, Karen, the problem is we have hundreds of managers who manage different things. I need to know what type of thing you're having trouble with so I know which manager to transfer you to. The manager in charge of elevators? By now my spidey senses are tingling and I'm opening up the building history. Something stinks, and it's the all too familiar smell of Karen's BS. Please hold while I get the manager of elevators. I place Karen on hold to get her good and wound up before I make her feel stupid. Hi, Karen. Thanks for holding. Before I put you through to the manager of elevators, I just need to confirm. Did you call us this morning to request a technician come to retrieve a phone dropped down the crack beneath the elevator door on the 9th floor? Karen. No. She knows she's busted. And at the time, were you told to contact building management as we cannot dispatch a technician unless building management requests it, or we have someone trapped in an elevator? No. She knows what's coming next. And after all that, did you call again, pretending to be trapped in the elevator with a baby in an effort to bypass building maintenance and get us to send a technician to the site? I can hear Karen starting to tear up. I was trapped in the elevator and there was no ventilation and my baby was getting very hot and I needed to get him to the I understand. Did you try dialing 911 while you were trapped? No, because I dropped... She was about to say she dropped it down the elevator and was realizing she was about to get caught in a lie. It was out of batteries. Me. Please hold. I put her on mute to get her even more wound up, go to the bathroom, and come back. Hi, Karen. Thanks for holding. No response. Hi, Karen. Are you still there? I'm here. Okay, great. I was worried I'd lost you. Now, when the technician arrived, he found that the elevator was still working and diagnostics showed no errors. In fact, in the 35 minutes between your call and the technician arriving, the elevator was used 8 times, and there's no record of anyone being trapped. Yes, that's what he said, but he wasn't there. I was trapped for over an hour with my baby who has a Please hold. Eat my sandwich. Chicken salad. I love my life. Hi, Karen. Thanks for holding. I just need to confirm, when our technician arrived to have you released from the elevator, were you waiting in the lobby, and did you demand he retrieve your phone from the elevator shaft? Yes. And when he told you to contact building management to get the $900 elevator pit retrieval fee approved, did you begin screaming at him to retrieve your phone immediately or you would get him fired? Well, I wasn't screaming. And when this happened, who was watching the baby? What baby? The one you were stuck in the elevator with that had a fever? Oh, she was upstairs. I put her down. So you left an infant alone so you could yell at the technician? Are you telling me how to parent? Please hold. Water my blueberries in Stardew Valley. Okay, Karen. What I'm doing right now is I'm putting a note in the system to have your phone retrieved free of charge from the elevator shaft. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. You're very welcome. We will be retrieving it for you on the next scheduled maintenance day, which will be within the next 3 to 6 weeks. 3 to 6 weeks? Can't you send someone today? Sure, but first you need to contact building management to call us and approve the $900 elevator shaft retrieval fee, in addition to the $500 fine for faking an emergency that you'll be receiving from your landlord. Karen hung up before I was able to transfer her to the manager of elevators. I later spoke with building management, who was livid. Karen had originally spoken to them about the phone, however, she refused to be billed for it, so management refused to make the call. Her baby wasn't sick. In fact, it didn't exist unless her baby is 4 cats. I hope she isn't too surprised in 3 to 6 weeks when she gets the shattered pieces of her phone back. You know, I think, "Hi Karen, thanks for holding," might just be one of my favorite phrases ever uttered. Mom calls cops on daughter for, quote, kidnapping brother. So this isn't a story about an entitled mom that I just happened to run into and had to deal with. This entitled mom is my mom. Backstory. So this happened last year around May. I was at a town festival/carnival with my children, 6 and 7 years old at the time. My brother and my mother don't get along well, as they both think they are better than everyone else and they're never wrong. Since he turned 15, they've been at each other's throats. At the carnival. I'm wandering around the carnival with my children and their father when my phone starts going off over and over. When I answer, I hear my brother on the line crying and begging to come stay with me. I tell him where I am, and the only way he can come stay with me is if it's alright with our mother, as she has pulled some outrageous stuff in the past. He goes on to tell me that she's been drinking and had busted the door to his room trying to get to him. I didn't know how much of this to believe, as he is a bit dramatic and tends to embellish stories. I get a call while on the phone with him. It's my mother, and before I answer, it goes to voicemail. So, after I calm him a bit, I agree to hang up with him and call my mother to see if I can calm the situation a little for both of them and to get her side of the story. The truth is usually somewhere in between their two stories. I go ahead and hang up and check my voicemail. Entitled Mom is my mom. The voicemail is her yelling into the phone. "Listen here, young lady. You better not be thinking about coming to get him. I will call the police and say that you kidnapped him or that you're aiding and abetting a runaway, and you will go to jail. Don't test me." As I stood there, a little shocked, I decided to call my mother and explain that I told him no, and that I would only come to get him if she was completely okay with it. He may be my brother, but he isn't my child. The phone call goes something like this. I was blindingly angry through a lot of it, so the details are a little fuzzy. I apologize. "Hey, Mama, sorry if he or I gave you the wrong idea. I told him I wouldn't get him unless I'm drinking? Or he wants to run away?" "No, I told him I wouldn't come to get him unless you were okay with it." "Oh, I'm sure that's what you said. Well, I won't have to worry about it because I have already called the cops and told them about your plan to kidnap him." "Mom, I am at a carnival with my children, your grandchildren. I am not coming to get or kidnap him. What the hell is wrong with you? You will be arrested for this, and then you will both learn who's in charge here." At that point, I angrily hang up the phone. Since we are at a townwide event, there are police officers out and about keeping the peace. So I go up to one of the officers that I know, he was my science teacher in high school and now is a deputy, and ask him to please verify that I am at the carnival in a public space and have no intentions of kidnapping anyone. He looks confused, so I tell him my side of the story. He chuckled and agreed to stay with me to verify my whereabouts and intentions. Turned out she did call the cops, but they came to her house. Since she technically had no reason to call them, she was disorderly, and she and my 15-year-old brother were drunk. She was arrested. She had the audacity to call me from the jailhouse and ask me to bail her out. I just said, "No, you might consider it kidnapping. I can't take that chance. Sorry." I hope you enjoyed the post. It still angers me to this day if I think about it. My mother went to AA and is doing much better though. Man. I mean, yeah, that mom is crazy entitled, but also just crazy. Like a little r/insane parents action. Damn. Let me know what you guys think. Are some of these parents more entitled, or are they just straight up insane? A stupid female dog parks in front of my driveway and gets instant karma. So there's a garage on the left-hand side of my house where I park my car, and a driveway in front of it so the car can get inside. It's exactly like any other garage, and it is part of my property, yet some people feel that they're entitled enough to park just anywhere, including right in front of my own driveway. EM is entitled mom, me is me, and EC is entitled child. It starts off when I'm about to go to the convenience store to get snacks, and I notice there's a car literally parked right smack in the middle of my driveway. There's no way my car could possibly get around, and I wasn't having any of it, so I yelled, "Who owns this car?" and started blasting my horn. It took a while for someone to finally react, and it just so happened to be the entitled person who owned the car. Apparently, she was a mom of 2 kids, and she kept reminding me of that while I was arguing with her. "What are you doing making noise? My kids are trying to sleep." I apologize, miss, but some asshole decided it was a good idea to park right in front of my driveway. Yeah, that's my car. The spot I normally park in was taken by one of the neighbors, and that was the only place I could park. Now, at first I actually felt sympathy for this woman. She had kids and everything, and she wasn't wrong about the car taking up her spot because one of my other neighbors had a party celebrating their niece's quinceañera, and the neighborhood was packed with cars, and she didn't have a driveway of her own, so she had to park somewhere on the street. So I decided to calm down and nicely ask her to move her car, but instead of accepting my generosity, she decides to keep arguing with me. I am not moving my car. It's late and I have to make sure my children get to bed. Keep in mind it was only about 8:30 at the time. It wasn't late at all for her to move her car. I said, I can't get my car out of here when you're parked in the driveway. I'm asking you again to please move your car. What could you possibly be doing this late at night that requires you to drive somewhere? I'm just headed to the convenience store to get... I don't care what you're getting. You can wait until tomorrow to get it. She was really getting on my nerves. I got ready to raise my voice, but then I had an idea. So I replied with, okay, and walked back inside my house. When I looked back, I saw she had that, yeah, I totally showed him look on her face. I tried not to get pissed off at that as I reached for the phone and called the police. I explained the situation, and a few minutes later, a tow truck arrives. The car was in fact illegally parked, and so it was impounded. The next day, early in the morning, I get a knock on my door. Obviously, it's this mother. Her kids were standing next to her. She immediately starts yelling at me as soon as I open the door. Apparently, she was going to take her kids to an amusement park, and now that they didn't have a car, there's practically no way for them to go. As soon as she tells me that, I immediately chuckle, which pisses her off even more. Meanwhile, her kids are crying. Mommy, I want to go. Me being the insensitive asshole, I point at the kid and let out a big ha, which causes him to start screaming like a banshee. The mom starts yelling at me, saying how much of a monster I am, and I just reply with, get a cab, and slam the door in her face. I may or may not have been a little harsh, but that family of idiots got what they deserve. Oh, come on, man. The kids didn't do anything wrong. You don't need to get upset with them. It wasn't their choice that their mom's an entitled mom. It's not their choice that she parked in your driveway or insisted that her car should stay in your driveway. I get that you're admitting to be an asshole, but that doesn't really make up for you being an asshole to kids. I'm gonna hope that that part's fake. Thank you to everyone who watched this video. Be sure to subscribe for more daily Reddit content. Drop a like if you liked the video, and I will see you all tomorrow.